Question 12 is the proof that root 2 is an irrational number, one of the two proofs you've tried to learn. I'm sure I've done a video on this before, but you start by assuming that root 2 is rational. And so, therefore, root 2 is equal to a over b, where a over b is a fraction in its simplest form. So you assume the opposite of what you're starting with. So now we'll do some maths. So if root 2 equals a over b, and if we square both sides, then we get 2 equals a squared over b squared. And that means a squared is 2b squared. From that, we can say that a squared is even, because it's clearly got a factor of 2. If a squared is even, therefore a is even. And if a is even, then a can be written as 2 times some number r, for r being some number, some natural number. Once you've got that, you now drop this back in here. So we then go, so we've got 2r all squared equals 2b squareds. This gives us 4r squared is 2b squared. Dividing both sides by 2 gives us b squared equals 2r squared. And that tells us that b squared is even. For the same logic, there's a 2 here. Therefore, b is even. And at that point there, we've got a contradiction, because if a is even, a and b are both even, that means that this fraction here isn't in its simplest form. Because they've both got a factor of 2. Therefore, there's a contradiction, and therefore root 2 is irrational, not rational. Everything here was right. The only thing that must have been wrong must have been at the very beginning.